Hi guys, welcome to my channel Lush Gardener. I hope you guys are fine and are safe. In today's video, I'm going to be talking about if you are a beginner or if you're just starting off with succulents, why is it not a good idea to buy small pups or smaller succulents? Now, I know guys, a lot of you want to increase your collection overnight, but that's not how it's going to work because it's going to be a very big mess if you're going to buy succulents of this size. Now, ideally these pups that you're seeing over here are approximately 3 to 4 inches. Usually what our mother plant tends to put out, these are that size of pups. So they're almost 3 to 4 inches in size. Some of them may be 5 inches, but majority of them are between 3 to 4 inches. Now you will see a lot of sellers selling these at a much cheaper rate. So let me come over here. Now let's say that we have this mother plant over here. This is Echeveria champagne. Let's say, for example, now this is just an hypothetical example. Please don't go according to the prices. I'm just giving this as an example. Let's say that this costs you around 100 bucks. Let's say this is for 100 bucks. Whereas these pups that you're seeing over here, you will be getting it 5 for 100 bucks. So basically you have one succulent for 100. And then you have these pups that you're going to get 5 for 100. So obviously if you are a beginner, you're just starting off with succulents, you're pretty excited, you want to have more succulents. So over here you're compromising with quality over quantity. So you want to have more quantity of succulents, which is absolutely fine. Everyone wants to have a lot of succulents, but there is a small problem with this. Now, because you are just starting off with succulents, you do not have a lot of experience with succulents, these pups can turn out to be little bit of a mess for you. Over here we have a mother plant which is costing you 100 bucks. So you are ending up buying only one plant. But remember, a mother plant is very strong, especially if you're a beginner or if you're just starting off with succulents. A mother plant is going to work out really well for you. First reason is because it's already very well established. Even though it is going to be in another city and it's coming to your place, it can still be much easier to handle compared to these pups that we have over here. I have some more pups over here as well. So these are very tricky and I'll tell you why. Let's say we have this mother plant for 100 bucks. These are 5 for 100. You purchase these. Now what's going to happen, you can see the size of these pups are really small. And we all know during transit there is a lot of breakage of leaves. A lot of leaves tend to break. Let's say this succulent had 5 leaves. 2 broke in the transit, you're left with 3 leaves. Now because you have bought it from another city, it's getting adjusted. It's going to drop another 2 leaves and you're left with 1 leaf. With that 1 leaf, you are like panicking, what's wrong, my succulent leaves are falling off. Because the pup is really small, it is taking a little bit more time to get adjusted to the new environment. A lot of times with 1 leaf, it's not going to survive. Apart from that, smaller pups are much easily to get damaged in transit. There is a lot of breakage. Rotting is much more common with pups, especially if they have been in the transit for a really long time. So you can see a mother plant is much more good in quality because it has already been established. Even if it drops like 2 or 3 leaves in transit, you still have a bunch of leaves. Like over here, let me take this example. You can see there are a bunch of leaves. So even if it loses, let's say even 5 leaves, you still have an ample amount of leaves. Again, after acclimating, during the acclimation process, it drops another 4 leaves. Again, you still have a good amount of leaves on the succulent. The succulent is already very well established. It does not require a lot of care. All you have to do is just keep it aside and the new leaves will start coming up. But this is not going to be the same case with the pups. They are going to take a little longer time to get adapted to the new environment. A lot of times the pups do not survive when there is a huge difference in environment, especially right now during summers. Don't even think of buying pups because the summers are really harsh in most part of the countries. It is going to definitely harm the pups because they need a lot of I would say they need a lot of extra care compared to the mother plant, and it's going to affect the pups a lot. So please, I know that you want to buy a lot of succulents, but what's the point of buying 5 pups for 100 and killing at least 4 out of them? And whereas you have one succulent mother plant and you are able to keep it alive, you bought it only for 100. Here you bought it for 100, and even that 1 or 2 succulents that are still alive, the pups that are still alive will be struggling. I'm 100% sure, because I have seen a lot of messages and a lot of DMs that I get. I see the pups are in a very bad shape. A lot of them do not even open up. A lot of them start to rot because again the watering also tends to depend upon that. You cannot overwater them. You cannot give them too much of water because the leaves are very small. The roots are very delicate because they are not yet completely formed. So a lot of issues, and then the pup starts to die. So if you are a beginner, my only advice would be go for mother plants. It will be slightly expensive, and probably you will be able to buy less. Probably with the 100, let's say that even if you're buying a medium sized plant, you might happen to buy probably 1 or 2. But the best part is that at least you are able to keep it alive, and without putting much efforts, you will be able to take care of mother plant as compared to the pups that we have. If you find that mother plants are very expensive and you cannot go for that, then you can go for a medium size succulents as well. The medium size succulents will also, now again medium size, I would say 50-50. Usually they tend to survive, they tend to work out really well. Medium size succulent will be anywhere between 7 to 8 inches in width, so they also tend to work out really well. But again, you need to give the basic care requirements. But compared to pups, medium size succulents will do quite well. They will be able to adapt much better compared to the other succulents that we have. The pups are very, very delicate. They tend to drop the leaves. Majority of the leaves do break. There's not a single person who's going to say that I have received my succulents in pristine condition, and after getting the succulents, none of the leaves started to turn yellow. Every person will go through this. 1 or 2 leaves will turn yellow. Even if the succulents are in the best condition, probably 1 leaf will always tend to fall off. This is the process of acclimation. There is nothing to be worried about. But with pups, it's going to be a little more difficult. So please, if you are a beginner, don't go on the numbers. If you get 1 succulent, it's absolutely fine. Be happy with that 1 succulent. When I started 7 years back, I had only 3 succulents for an entire year. Apart from it being really expensive, I did not have much knowledge, so I didn't want to take a chance. So that's the reason why I say don't go according to the numbers. Don't be in a hurry. Don't think that you are in a competition wherein you need to collect a lot of succulents just to show it to others, because it is going to harm. Because I know, I have experienced this, and I know how difficult it can be when succulent starts to die, especially when they're very small. You can see over here now, these guys are very dehydrated, and I'm watering them very slow. I'm watering them very slowly. I do not want to overwater them and kill them. That's the reason why they're all closed like this. It's going to take a while for them. Now if these are going to remain closed like this for, let's say, for another month or so, it will start to have dry rot. So you have to be extremely careful. Pups are very, very delicate. That's the reason why I also suggest you, when they are attached with the mother plant, always wait for them to reach to a decent size. I have also seen people buying cuttings online. Cuttings are another difficult part. First of all, we do not have a lot of experience with succulents, and then secondly, you buy a plant that is a cutting. It's going to take a while for it to put out roots. I would always suggest don't buy cuttings, or do not take cuttings, especially if you are a beginner, because cuttings are going to take a really long time to put out the roots, and if you do not have a lot of experience, you might kill the succulent even before it starts to put out roots. So my only advice would be, don't go with the numbers. Go with 1 succulent. Probably we can buy 1 succulent a month or 2 succulents a month, but don't buy very small ones. Don't buy these combos, because these combos are very cheap. As I said, 1 mother plant for 100, and these pups you're going to get it 5 for 100. I would suggest go with the mother plant. That is going to work out really well. You might end up killing all, or you might end up killing majority of the pups because of lack of experience. So this is the only advice that I can give. And during the summers, I would advise, do not buy smaller succulents, because it's going to be even more difficult. A lot of people have really harsh summers, and it's not going to work out really well for your pups. So guys, that's all about it. I hope that this video was helpful to you. If it was, please hit the like button. If you're new to my channel, please consider subscribing to it. Until then, take care, stay safe, and keep propagating.